buildings do have life cycles. So if they're not maintained, they'll depreciate faster. And sometimes the issues around collapse, you can forestall it. If you build your house on a dump site, it will sink.
Absolutely.
Yeah, soil test is very key in my opinion. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't do it. You cannot build without a planning approval. It is illegal to build. The report in 2024 says 40% of ongoing projects have incomplete approvals and they have structural concerns.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a disaster waiting to happen.
So you can see why there's collapse. There's a perception that government pursues this venture as a revenue drive. So what happens is that you design with the worst scenario.
What are the warning signs to watch out for to know that a building is not structurally sound? Hello, beautiful family. Welcome again to another insightful episode of Thread, the Real Deal Naija podcast. Of course, on this episode, we are unbundling Africa's largest real estate market. Today, we have another insightful episode. This particular episode is very, very, very educative. And to do justice to that, we have brought in a master builder. Let me let you in on the topic already. Today, we're going to be talking about how to avoid building collapses. What are the best practices? Like I said, I have a man who is a master builder. He is an MBA holder from the Kingston University, London. He has an MSc in Sustainable Concrete Structures and Construction Management. He is a highly skilled and experienced builder with a track record of delivering complex construction projects. He is a structural engineering consultant in the oil and gas, telecommunications, and real estate sectors. Loaded already, right? Please welcome with me Mr. Valentine Elaigwu.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Reading your profile, I was already I'm already getting geared up for today's conversation because it is loaded, and definitely I'm sure that the best practices you're going to bring is nothing short of professional. All right, so let's dive straight into the conversation. So there's a trend, right? Nigeria has really been plagued with occurring building collapses, and this is too many for comfort. So what, in your opinion, are the most common reasons for these collapses?
Okay, it's multifaceted. So I'll try and break it down into three categories.
Okay.
So there's technical, there's regulatory, and there's the human part.
Technical, regulatory, and human
part. So the technical, obviously means the technical stuff, not using the right design, not using right calculations. Yeah. The regulatory, it's the oversight, the government oversight over construction projects. And the human is an interface because there are human elements around this, using the humans that apply the regulations and the humans that jump the technical parts.
Okay.
You use unskilled labor, for instance. It's one of the human angle.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically that's it. And like you said, the statistics say there's an NGO, Building Collapse Prevention Guild. Okay. I think their report from 2023 says from 2012 to 2022, there's been over 271 building collapses.
Whoa, that's
and
alarming.
50% is in Lagos.
My God.
Yeah. So basically, there's human, regulatory, and the technical. So you have pockets of causes of failure in each set. Yeah.
But which would you say is the most predominant?
I would say technical. Okay. In my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been a lot of study around failures, I would say technical because that is the basis for you to even embark on a construction project, a building project.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. At what stage do you think the greatest risk for collapse arise? Is it at the design stage? Is it the material selection stage or the construction stage? Okay.
There is inherent risk across the value chain, the design and build value chain. There's inherent risk everywhere. But again, I would say If I break the construction life cycle, pardon me, because you used picking of materials and all that.
Design, material
so
selection.
I'd rather say there is pre-design.
Okay.
There's design.
Okay.
There's construction. And there's post-construction.
Okay.
So in my opinion, I would say pre-design, because pre-design is where you undertake geotechnical surveys of the land.
Okay.
That is the basis of even designing. It's the output from that stage that goes into the design, that brings out the design. Then in the construction stage, is the output from the design stage. That's what we build.
Okay.
Then in the post-construction stage, it's the maintenance, inspection and maintenance, because buildings do have life cycles. So if they're not maintained, they'll depreciate faster.
Okay.
And sometimes the issues around collapse, you can forestall it. I mean, if there's regular inspection, you notice the signs. And if it's not checked quickly, it can lead to a catastrophic failure.
Yes.
So failure could be a crack. It's failure.
Okay.
But the catastrophic one, I'm sure, is the one we see the building
collapse.
tumbling down. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying all of these phases, they're very critical.
They're very critical. There's inherent risk across. So there should be risk management across. But in my opinion, the pre-design stage, which tells you, that's where you do the geotechnical survey, which tells you the kind of soil, for instance. If it is quicksand and you must build there, the design will specify a different kind of foundation compared to if it was a rocky terrain. Okay. Or a sandy terrain. You understand?
Yes.
So the geotechnical survey will tell you what to do, what it will say what you should design for. On that. So each project is different. I mean, you might even have one plot of land that has totally different soil characteristics. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. All right. So I like the fact that you mentioned soil, right? So how much do those soil testing and site investigation determine the stability and structural integrity of buildings?
It does. Just like I said, it is crucial. It is the most crucial part. Because it indicates to you that, okay, this site is waterlogged. So you need to probably use pile foundations, and it has to go up to 20 meters, because at 10 meters, there's debris. Maybe it was a dump site where people were dumping stuff. If you build your house on a dump site, it will sink.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But if you must build there, it tells you that, okay, you need to go beyond the 10 meters of wastes of, biological waste and all that kind of waste, and go 20 meters where you will meet stable soil. So the soil test is very key in my opinion. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't do it. So people use rule of thumb. I see a lot of it in the industry. They use rule of thumb. Because I've worked in this area and I did a raft foundation, and it works, but would you embark on a project, a multi-million or multi-billion naira project with rule of thumb?
No.
Exactly.
That's very risky.
Yeah.
All right. So we know that the government has a very crucial role to play in terms of regulation, right? So what role does the government play in ensuring that these structures are safe for habitation and can also stand the test of time?
Okay. So I would say the government has the ultimate role, because it's their responsibility to ensure that the built environment is okay.
Habitable.
The risk is with the client, but the government does. So how it works is there's a national building code. And this code is a comprehensive framework, that stipulates safety, accessibility, sustainability, and health for buildings across the country. It's a law, So all the state government, the subnationals, is their responsibility to develop frameworks that will see people abide by that. So what it means in lay terms is that if you want to build on a piece of land, you do your soil test. Yeah? You do your soil test. You do a design. Then you bring out the architectural drawings, the structural drawings, the mechanical drawings, the electrical drawings. You take all these documents to the physical planning agency for approval. They'll vet it. When they vet it, and if it's if it meets the national building code, you get an approval. If there are issues, you'll be notified to tweak. You understand?
Yes.
So you cannot build without a planning approval. It is illegal to build. It is illegal to build. And LABSCA, Lagos State Building Control Agency, says a report in 2024 says 40% of ongoing projects have incomplete approvals and they have structural concerns.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a disaster waiting to happen.
So you can see why where there's collapse.
Yes.
If only 40% of ongoing projects have incomplete approvals. So you can connect the dots.
Yes, that's a looming.
So 60% don't have, so they are just building on their whims.
My God.
So government has a major role to play. Beyond compliance, I think government needs to create awareness.
Okay.
Because there's a perception that government pursues this venture as a revenue drive. I think they need to downplay that perception and see it like a fundamental necessity for life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very critical because this affects a lot of lives, like you said.
Ecosystem.
Okay, so this is for my own personal curiosity, right? So you mentioned earlier that on a plot, there can be different soil types. So in that case, does it mean that they will build based on the predominant soil type, or how will they manage such structure? Okay,
so what happens in design is that typically, if you, on a piece of land, the soil test, you take two extreme points.
Okay.
So you do on one point, and it doesn't mean that you'll get it right. It just reduces the risk.
Okay.
You do on one point. So what happens is that you design with the worst scenario.
Oh.
So if I get a piece of land that is rocky here, and I get one that is swampy, it's waterlogged here, my design will be based on the swampy area because,
okay. I see. So you design with the worst scenario in mind. Okay, great. So this particular question, right? I'm sure that most of our viewers, they really want to know, what are the warning signs to watch out for to know that a building is not structurally sound?
Okay. That a building is distressed. I told you.
Yes.
Yeah. So cracks, diagonal cracks. If you see diagonal cracks, especially when they are close to windows or doors.
Okay.
Yeah. If you see horizontal cracks on foundation walls. If the floor is bouncing, I don't know if you've been to a house where you walk and you feel like you're on a trampoline.
Yes.
Yeah. If it tilts, in some extreme cases, I've had a client that his furniture was actually. If it tilts, if you notice cracks that are more than 5 millimeters.
Okay.
Yeah, and they get wider over time.
Oh.
They're myriad of scenarios. I'm thinking that if you see dampness in the wall,
okay,
there are signs. So, like I said, some is distressed, and if it is not treated, it could progress to collapse.
Okay. So what you're saying is, even when there are these signs, there are certain precautionary measures that can be taken to avoid.
Yeah.
What are some of those precautionary measures?
You monitor, you inspect.
Okay.
As you can see, there are diverse symptoms for distress.
Absolutely.
So each is specific. I mean, if there are cracks, there are ways that there are underpinning. For instance, if your building is sinking, that's one of the factors of distress, of collapse.
Yes.
Sometimes you see a building is sinking. Yeah. So one of the methods to treat that it's called underpinning.
Okay.
Where you put a new pile on that part. So the solutions are specific to the nature of the distress.
Okay. All right.
So, and it's important to act very fast because, like I said, it can progress from distress to, okay, I didn't mention, you need to listen to, sometimes in a house, At night, when it's really quiet, you hear creaking sound. You just hear creaking or popping sounds.
Oh, that's what a haunted house.
It's not. Because concrete and steel.
Okay,
When there's tension,
yes.
some houses, if you listen to some interviews for some collapsed building, you always hear the people around there saying, we heard one sound, then there was a bang. So if you hear creaking, popping, cracking sounds, and it's not coming from a cricket or some other thing, you should get a professional, get a structural engineer or a builder to come and verify and see how to mitigate
against that.
Yeah.
Okay. This conversation is really, really loaded, and we're going to have to bring this, we're going to have to continue this conversation in another episode. And I really want to urge you to stick with us, because this is something that has plagued Nigeria, especially Lagos, for a really long time. And lives have been lost. Really, really, so many lives out of carelessness. So we will continue this conversation in the next episode. Please be sure to stick with us and keep the thread of this conversation rolling, because it is very important to you as it is to your friend and your neighbor. We'll see you on the next episode. Have you subscribed yet? Remember, we already have winners from our previous episode. This big mug is still up for grab, and you stand a chance to win when you subscribe and simply comment coffee cup, and this coffee cup will get right straight to you. It is filled with love from all of us at the Real Deal Naija podcast. I will see you on the next episode.